Alright, so, hey Odin boys, hope you're doing well in today's video. Finally getting to show off the Red Sky Relic. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these Holy Relic showcases, and they honestly just dropped all of them at such a bad time. I mean, they had like, what, 4 or 5 Holy Relics released all on the same day, and at that point I think it had only been 2 weeks since they dropped the OG Festival Relic as well, so it takes a bit of time if you're not buying the bundles to actually get all of them. I believe the only one I'm missing from the D raid now is for the OG Blue Tarmiel, but here it is, the new Holy Relic. Basing stats increased by 8% upon inflicting crit damage on an enemy when using a skill limit to 5 times. I've seen people use this Sariel in the Bird raid, especially alongside some other units that's supporting him, and he can get absolutely insane stats. So let's see how he does in PvP. It's been a hot minute since I've chucked him on a team. His first card here inflicts Sever damage equal to 300% of attack on all enemies. His single target card inflicts Power Strike damage equal to 475% of attack on one enemy. The ultimate inflicts Sever damage equal to 945% of attack on one enemy. The Grace here, which is one of the main reasons why you'd use this Sariel, if a critical strike occurs when the hero attacks an enemy, ignores 50% of the enemy's crit defense. And then last but not least, the passive, increase Goddess allies basic stats by the value equal to 20% of the hero's basic stats. So a really well built out character, kind of built like the green Sariel in the way that he's supporting the Archangel team. Of course, we have these Sariels 6 out of 6, and then the gear. I mean, you're not really going to use any other gear for Sariel. The rolls are a little bit bad. They could be just a bit better, but that's alright. And then the cosmetics are completely maxed out, or actually missing the headpieces. I didn't even realize I'm definitely going to have to go and patch those up. However, I am of course working on the Ragnarok barn as well. Really wish I could have them level 100. I've been working on those demons a whole lot more, the founder demons. Almost got my first 10 units done. After this, we'll start working on some of those other ones. I really want to get Sigurd done as well for when the Wedding Brunhold releases, but this is going to be the team we're using today, and let's jump right into it. Our first opponent, and starting off with the Barn team. Okay, I feel like we should still be alright, considering we have Gother and Elizabeth and all those other kind of units. Wow, a level 2 Jack of Light card to start us off. I think we might start shipping into the... I don't think it really matters an awful lot who we go into, but getting this Gother max of the ult gauge is going to be super, super good for us. Let's go with that, and then we'll kind of get rid of this AoE whilst we've got none of the damage reduction from the ignites. But I didn't even realize until, I think it was yesterday's video, I've never seen Kyo's damage reduction to an extreme extent, but I was versing somewhere, I think he had like 350,000 CC, so a pretty strong player regardless, but I was so amazed. I thought he had like a Red King in the back stopping my pierce rate, because I was of course attacking with the Demon Lord Rimmer, and I was just amazed at how effective that unit actually is. Still a really, really strong unit. Although he is fairly squishy, I feel like we are seeing a whole lot less of the Blue Escanor, just because man's crit chance just can't hold up nowadays. And unfortunately, we do have a whole bunch of Liz cards, which is great for us, but we're going to have to use one of them to actually proc the passive. That will give us the heal back as well, and all of the stat increase. Having a full team of Archangels and Sins as well, allowing us to proc the passive each time. I don't really mind losing this ult gauge for Sariel, and then we will go for that one there, get the merger once again. Yeah, from this next turn onwards, if he doesn't have that Nameless Dance up, he's going to be getting destroyed. I mean, still some pretty decent damage for level 90 there. There we go, and then we get our heal back. Would you look at that, and then Elizabeth can just start blitzing everyone. I've been enjoying using this unit so much, and although you don't see a whole lot of them in the first 2 turns, I feel like that's kind of a good way to play it, because most of the time you build up this team, you have Trader Meliodas be the showcase unit, you throw out his cards, turn 1, you win, and then that's it. It kind of allows the other 2 units to show off a little bit before that 3rd turn, and you obviously have the main unit go crazy. Let's see. Let's go... Do we just trust in Elizabeth here to kill? I think we do, why not? I might go ahead, actually the 6% stop once you get to... Stacks up to 6 times, yeah, that's alright. Let's go 1, 2, and really hoping this kills. If not, we can tank the barn ult to the face and die, I suppose. There's a lot of damage reduction there, so could be in a bit of trouble. I definitely should have used the pulverize card and just played it safe. Yeah, starting to regret my decisions. Once again, the Kyo damage reduction coming in clutch for him. And never mind, the AoE. Almost 700,000 damage, he is so good. Really, really wish I had more ult levels, and almost done my 2nd rotation, and still haven't got a 4th dupe for him. And to definitely have Sariel on the priority list when it comes to 100 units, because he is just such a valuable association, especially for someone like myself who loves those big damage teams. Definitely want to have him level 100 for that. Who do we want to... I definitely feel like going for you to start us off here. This is pretty much going to be our only turn where we're going to be able to attack. And that... doesn't it disable debuff cards? If we could have stopped that, we could have stopped that dissolve card from coming out on the off chance that they didn't pull an extra flood card. But look at that, almost half of the Demon Lord Rimmer herself. And that's without any of the Gotha passive, without any of the Gotha Holy Relic, without Liz's passive, and without his own Holy Relic built up a crazy amount. Could get the Gotha ultimate, or yeah, in the next turn. I think we might end up going for that because we're guaranteed for the disable there. That'll give us Dissolve, so although we can get the Holy Relic from Gotha, we won't actually be able to use the ultimate, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. I'd rather not have the ultimate in my end, in all honesty. Let's go, because the Grey buff stays there for the 2 turns, which is very helpful for us. And I think I might just get rid of the AoE in all honesty. So yeah, chuck out the Jack of Light there. We get the Grey buff. Yes, okay, perfect, sweet. I wasn't actually 100% sure on that, I haven't tried it out, but that one worked, that's for sure. If he can just drop the attack disable for 1 turn, we can blitz him with all these level 3 single target cards. The second this Merlin's out of the way, we should be good to go. And this is why Merlin is top 5 units in the game. You can't tell me otherwise. Me not being able to do anything for the first 3 turns of the match, all because I didn't decide to bring Margaret, seems like a top tier unit if I do say so myself. Get rid of those cards there, and depending on the ult level here as well, we could just end up dying. There's just not an awful lot you can do here. Replacing Kyo maybe with Jack of Light Gotha could maybe be a better team, but once again, Kyo's still so valuable. I'd really like them to give a kind of like replacement unit for Kyo, not to kind of get Kyo out of the way, but for the people that didn't play during the King of Fighters collab, just having a character that passively puts down ignites would be really nice. Alright, and our third opponent, quite a scary team. I mean, I feel like if you replace the Elizabeth in this team for Demon Lord Rimmer, probably the best team in the game. It's a very no-brain team. It just works so well and puts out so much damage. This DN is just ridiculous. I might go for this to start it off. Get as much damage into DN as possible so we can kind of just get as much damage out there before she starts building up her buffs, getting the extra, I think it's 30% HP related stats when she has the Taunt up. And of course there is the red Tarmiel Grace, so the sooner we can get a level 3 card just to one-tap her, definitely in. I'm gonna put faith in Sariel here that he can finish off DN. Not too sure how I feel in that though. Those extra 15%, that extra level 100 really help out. Wow, really surprisingly low damage from melee there, which is good for us. The AoE coming in after. Been using a whole bunch more of melee since the Founder raid has came out. I've honestly been loving doing that, kind of being forced to play a form of PvE content again has been really, really refreshing, and I don't know, I just like how it works. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Belmoth. I feel like the global version has had pretty much everyone knows what they're doing when it comes to the raid. There's obviously your Rodolph players, but hey, that's alright. Not getting any crits for Sariel. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. We have the block effect on us. Should I maybe focus on getting Gotha, the Holy Relic, well, like the max ultimate gauge for the Holy Relic proc before I go for his attacks? Because if he's not critting, he's not building up that Holy Relic whatsoever. I mean, surely, we have the Sever effect on the ultimate here, so he's pretty much guaranteed to crit. I don't know what the Yan substats look like. This is going to be a loss of his ultimate, though. And a crazy amount of damage, Jesus. What is the Liz passive looking like? I don't know how confident. Okay. I suppose we just go for this. See how much damage we can get on everyone. I probably should have gone double single target into the Pulverize card because we have enough ultimate gauge to remove the melee ultimate, wouldn't we? Oh, she really survives that? God damn. And this is what I mean when I say DN is broken. She survives the second hit as well. Man, if I only pulled more dupes of Tarmiel, my DN would be so broken. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love using the unit, but man, to have 6/6 Tarmiel, even just using him in the front of the Archangel team as well would be really nice. I know he's not the greatest unit on his own. The Flood card's a little bit of a miss, and the buff card as well, I feel like isn't the greatest with how insanely powerful Demon Lord Rimmer's passive is, but I don't know, man, the extra CC would help out a ton, and DN's going to absolutely blitz us. What do you bet he has a high ult level? 300,000 now on growth is pretty good. And what do we have here? I'm really loving how many people are using the Jack of Light Gotha. Always fun to see people bring back the Amelia. Can't wait for Amelia to come back around for more people to actually get the character, because she's probably one of my favorite characters when it comes to this game. I could go for the attacks into Amelia just because we're type advantage. I think going for this is going to be our best bet. Really want to use that AoE card pretty much every single time. The evasion food there, which we proc, which is perfect. I would have been so devastated if I had accidentally used the Jack of Light food. The Jack of Light food? If I'd have used the Jack of Light debuff into the evasion food, just cannot speak for some reason. Yeah, if we could max out the Sariel, the best part about the Sariel Relic as well is it doesn't last a certain amount of turns. That's one of my biggest things about the Elizabeth passive is once you get the full 15%, I believe it's only 4 or 5 turns, which then when it comes to PvE content, makes her just so much weaker than some of these other characters. Look, Sariel, Holy Relic, it lasts forever. The Traitor Meliodas passive lasts forever. At least the damage reduction side of it, you're using so many single target cards regardless that you can keep them pretty well topped up, and then combined with Magelda. I know it's unfair to put them with other units, but I know I really think she could have done with it lasting from the 15% just going onwards until she dies, or at least adding a cleanse to part of her kind of passive proc. What do we want to go for? We can 1, 2, and might just chuck out the OE card just to get rid of it. See how much damage we can do. Or even just making it so her 6th card before the actual card comes out gets the effect, because I know every time you use the Meliodas single target card, the buff also applies before the actual card comes out, which ends up helping his damage a ton. 300,000 there before the full stat buff. Sariel unfortunately not getting any of the healing because he's frozen. And yeah, at this point I think we've pretty much won this match. It's a very, very strong team, don't get me wrong, but he just hasn't done an awful lot with these turns, and you're meant to be using these turns to stall out, but we got the go through ultimate and we've gotten the Elizabeth passive as well, which is kind of hard to stop as long as you've got units active. You can be doing that, and we ended up using, I think it was identical to this team, but and here we have it, our final opponent, a King Margaret team. Okay, I feel like you saw a lot of this when King came out. I'm really liking seeing people use Margaret again. The super fun. She's a really good unit, especially PvE content. Once again, just with how little units in the game we have, having that cleanse effect, it makes her really, really strong. Throw that pulverized card there. Definitely should have thrown that into King, but that's alright. We'll get rid of Margaret instead. Gets the crit there. I don't know, I just feel like Sariel doesn't really compete with some of these other top tier units. If you let Keo have all of his ignites down, just due to the fact that he gets so much more from the ignites, he has the co-destruction effect, he ends up doing as much as Sariel does, and with all the damage reduction, and I feel like Keo's a lot better to invest into. I feel like you'd probably put them in the same tier, or at least have Keo a little bit higher than Sariel. Men's is an amazing association, don't get me wrong, and you can use him on pretty much any DPS unit in the game. I don't know how I feel when it comes to actually using him in the front though. Let's see, we could go full send on Gotha. I don't think we're gonna be able to... Oh, okay, never mind, you can still crit through the shield there. That's the Elizabeth shield I'm thinking of. So yeah, get rid of Gotha. We probably could have killed King in all honesty, but that's right, get our full heal, then we can start throwing out these Elizabeth cards. Really happy with how this team went. Really, I know I've said this a bunch throughout the video, but would have liked to have had Sariel level 100. It is just so time consuming, and you end up doing the hell difficulty and get like a 6-star awakening stone and a gold chest. It's so disheartening when that happens, but hey, what can you do? Death Pierce going absolutely crazy, and this is why Death Pierce just cannot be used anymore. He was by far one of my favorite units in the game, but the second they released this Ragnarok Barn, he's been deemed useless. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure that'll finish off Margaret here. We'll do just fine. Only 200,000 from the AoE. Yeah, single target cards. A whole lot better. Go for King, please. Death Pierce. I mean, we should get some crits actually, considering his terrible substats. And there we go, that just about does it for today's video. Also, I would like to say, I didn't realize this was a thing, but why does Sariel walk? I mean, he also sprints as well. Why does he not float? His idle animation is floating. Why would you not add to the rest of the character? But there we go, that just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.